The Integrated School Support System, also known as I3S, is a platform designed to foster a closer community between parents and their schools. Created together with input from thousands of teachers, this education program aims to give up-to-date information about student behavior and activities in school to parents using applications via mobile or a computer. The student identification card is used to take attendance, and the data is shared with parents via the online application and also shared across to the Ministry of Education's attendance system on a daily basis. During class breaks, students are also able to use their identification cards to make payments at the canteen and cafes, with parents reloading its e-wallet using their mobile application anywhere and anytime. I3S allows parents to set a daily credit limit for each child in order to safeguard their money against overspending and unauthorized use when lost. Posting of classroom activities and viewing exam results are part of the I3S user experience, where teachers can share info in real time to parents and have a private chat should the need arises. For the moment, this program is offered to schools at no cost, and parents do not have to pay any fees to use the I3S application. Are you interested yet? To enjoy I3S in your school, simply visit www.i3s.com.my and fill in the school registration form. We will surely contact you the next day for an appointment. I3S, the key development tool in building the next generation together.
Hello, good evening, friends and on the Facebook. Welcome to My Starter and I3S Facebook Live tonight. And now today is a Friday evening, and thank you for tuning in and to come together with us to share this our November ECF project. So tonight we have the honor to invite I3S founder and also together with the COO coming to our center studio to share with us about this project. Before we start, because now I didn't, so maybe a viewer from this Facebook Live, can you also help to share this video to your friends and family? To share out to so that more people can come in to talk about this topic. First of all, I think we would like to welcome our founder and I3S founder, Dato' Nazmi, and who is quite well educated, so who got the scholarship from Renon and went all the way to this New Zealand for further study, and then later on coming back to Malaysia and work for this Renon and also on the IT and technology company. So with his experience into this industry, that's how he come up with this idea of want to form this, started this project called I3S, which is a parent-children community program, and to enable all the children to have a better school environment. And also we have this co-founder, Ken, and who also the COO for this football hub, who have raised over $3 million this crowdfunding before, and also now helping this I3S to implement this project. So before we go further, so let us put our hand together and to welcome Dato' Nazmi, founder of I3S, to come into the studio. And Dato'.
Hello. Good evening, everybody.
Dato'. Hey, good evening.
Hi.
Hi. Can you share with us about to our audience and briefly introduce yourself?
My name is Nazmi Abdul Talib. I am the founder, creator of this program called I3S. We are here with Ken, is my COO that will manage the program after we launch. Well, do you want to know?
Yeah. And okay, we bring our Ken coming to the studio first. Ken, welcome to My Starter Facebook Live. Welcome, Ken.
Hi, William. Thank you for having us today. And also thank you, Dato' Nazmi, for the introduction. Actually, it's really an honor to participate in I3S in this company as a CEO. My background is that the company that I had as a CFO is a football hub. And basically, Football Hub and I3S has a similar investor. That's how I got connected to this program. Yes. So then I learned about the company and I find it really interesting, especially in their dealings with kids in public schools. So that's why I thought, while I have a bit of more time to be able to spare to do more work, so I got myself into this company.
Okay, great. And Dato', Hi, Dato'. Would you like to share with us to the audience what motivated you to come up with this program? I think this program really will benefit this school and student and parent and the community. How you get this idea to come up with this project for I3S?
I think it started a bit earlier in 2012. I was working with a company. I mean, this company. We were doing digital payment. So we got in touch with some friends and spoke to people in the ministry about doing this student ID that can use payment cards like similar like Touch and Go to for the kids to use in school. That's how we started, and then we moved on to do some discussion with a few hundred actually headmasters, principals, the parent teacher associations, and then we got some idea what their pain point was, and currently is, and we've gone through a pilot program, with one school in Selangor. Therefore, showed the results, and MOE trusted us to give the approval to start with 2,000 schools for Malaysia. That's how this all happened.
I see. I heard this for the pilot project. You have 5 school implemented, and because of the CMCO and the MCO, how is this after this 5 project? What was the next school coming up? Are they delayed or due to this CMCO? What's the status now?
The CMCO actually delayed our project for as long as the CMCO is happened. We're supposed to launch in June, but until now school closed. And actually this pandemic gave us some insights. How to make sure that our program and our income is protected, whether the school opens or not. We have to have a plan, and we have actually upgraded our system to be able to get online ordering and payment, so that if the canteen is closed or the cafe is closed, the kids can still eat and the parents can order. So our platform already upgraded to that level. So we are looking at some of what other countries are doing, pre-order food, in school, so that the kids don't have to waste time queuing. But also give opportunity for the Malaysian to experience buying online. So the pandemic actually pushed a lot of people to experience ordering food. To go about their daily lives, and I believe we have a high penetration rate for mobile internet, more than 90%, and I believe a lot of people have experienced transacting online, so they trust that online is safe. I3S is definitely a program that we created, and we've spoken to a lot of people. It's fit for purpose. We have changed it so many times over the past 4 years to make sure that the parents, the teachers, the school, the kids, they are able to accept the program as is, depending on their consumer behavior. So we are not a system that we wanted to do based on our feel of what it should be. Rather, we want to fit to what the environment is. It's a game changer. It addresses life of child in school rather than just academics. But it also allows parents to be involved in academics as well by discussing with the teacher on a single standard platform. So we're not e-learning company. We're not an e-learning system, but we are management of student. We have a lot of what do you call it? Links and programs that we done with people like Koperasi Guru Besar Selangor, Perbadanan Putrajaya, right? And then digitalization plans with Selangor through Smart Selangor initiative. So we've done a lot of things to strengthen our position in the market before we come to this point.
So I would like to address this question to Ken. So because so happened that after your pilot run for this Pride project and come to this MCO and CMCO, actually it has delayed your this project. Would you see this as an opportunity? Is a good thing that happened for this project, or is it really impact to delay and also damaging this program? What do you think?
Okay, I would say that in terms of the impact of PMCO, right, nobody can say it's entirely great and nobody can say it's entirely bad. It's just the best that we can find out of the current situation. So let's talk about the good point is that in this pandemic, most of us are locked up at home. A lot of noises has been quiet down. So it actually gave us more clarity, right? And also the better communication channel with the schools to explain our product to not just the teachers, but also to the PIBG community. And then it also gives us a better sense of how we should reach out to these schools. Because if there's 2,000 schools that we want to achieve, right, and we are going to be hiring so many people to reach out to every individual school, then once we're done with the 2,000, what we're going to do with all the employees? So throughout this whole pandemic, yes, we have faced a lot of difficulties because schools are not open. But the thing is, teachers are still running administrative work, and that's where we are going in there, getting this opportunity that they are more flexible with their schedule now, and then we can actually go inside there, talk to them, pitch it to them, become a little bit more private to understand how the school works, who the school usually talk to before we actually they hear about a new product. So this gives us more knowledge of how to approach schools in a more effective way. So I would say that this is a great thing about pandemic. I mean, pandemic is bad, but this is something good, something small little goods that we can find in these challenging times.
I see. Datuk, for this, just now you mentioned about this program, it actually benefit the parents, not only the children, and also the teachers. And from your point of view, how would this program, because it's intelligent school support system, how would this actually benefit the parent? I mean, as a parent, they are not involved into the school at all. And as I understand, this is like something like e-payment system, and also it serves as attendance student ID. But what has this to do with the parent?
While we were talking to a lot of parents and the school, especially the headmaster and principal, we noticed that there are, I think, 4 things that any parents-teacher communication talks about. Number 1, whether their kids is at school. Number 2 is definitely how are they doing, right? Whether they are doing well in class, behaving, and then of course the exam results that they want to know. And lastly, they will want to know what their kids are spending in school. I mean, if you use money, right, as a reference, how much money is spent in school and what are they buying, right? There's no information at all provided by the school to the parents. And all these informations are basically only received when we go and see the teachers, especially during report card days. So maybe by then it's a bit, not say too late, but it's a bit late to do anything to react, right? So now we have identified those 4 points, and I think the main objective for this program, if you're talking about the benefits to the school, is really to lessen the burden of administration for the teachers, so that they can focus on teaching and educating rather than taking attendance and all those. with parents who are having full information about the kids, and what the activities in school and their buying patterns. So they are able to become part of their children's, education and discipline management from home, right? So some people say that education starts at home. This is it. If you don't have enough information, I guess you can't do much, because you can't do educated decision making, similar to what the teachers know in school. So we don't want the teachers know more about our kids than us as parents, right? So we created this program to be not an IT project, but it's actually a communication platform between parents and teachers, so that we can manage the kids' improvement, education, and especially behavior. Right? We want to build characters. We gotta teach, be involved as well, rather than just leave it to teachers in school.
I see. So it looks like a simple project to me. I mean, apparently from the word intelligent school support system, but from what you described, I think it really helped the parent to have first-hand information about the children's activity in school, right? Because quite often I think we heard the kids at school sometimes they are bullied, by the other kids, because also some even demand for money, and also right, on all this can be happen. I think with this information, at least they know that, so what happened to their own children, and whether they are being bullied or not, and also they have this information. Not too late, otherwise I think in the past also, I think when the kids come back, and most of the time the kids also, they will not tell you what happened at school, right? So because they have peer pressure, right?
Yeah, we agree. Just to add to that, I have experienced one time that I go to one of the school AGM, and after I do some briefing, one of the kids came up to me privately and asked whether this having these cards, does it eliminate all this bullying, right? So I think she was talking more about extortion lah, when kids asking for money and all those. So can this stop that from happening? So a lot of underlying problems that we do notice in school that's related to discipline can be solved by having this kind of program in school. Also, I think by exposing our younger generation now, of course, this program is not rocket science. It's just maybe the right program at the right time. We are exposing our younger generation to prepare them for this world, digital world that's going to happen very, very soon. Looking at how things are moving, so and I3S just provide that enough exposure for them to start off with.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think with this pandemic, it also speed up this digitalize the usage of the system. Right? So because like what we mentioned about contactless and so on. So with this system just coming on time, and also I think even the kids also now they are more familiar with scanning and also using this card now compared with the past. Still, I think that including the parent also not really into technology, especially with the smartphone and usage and application. And I think our audience also, they would like to find out more. So, to have an overview on this program, why don't we invite this I3S CEO, Ken, to give us a brief introduction and presentation on this program, so that we have an overview on this project first. Will it be all right?
Okay.
Yeah, Ken. So, would you like to share the PowerPoint?
Yes, ready.
Okay, all right.
Right.
Okay, so we'll pass the mic to you. So proceed with your presentation.
Thank you, William. Thank you. Right. So I3S is actually developed and owned by Emerging Enterprise. And this program is approved by the Ministry of Education Malaysia. And our e-wallet partner is, a lot of you know it, is Boost, right? So we've been talking a lot about what I3S is, how does it serve the society and how does it function, but let me give some substance to what the whole platform I3S is. So first things first is that definitely we are a cloud system, right? But in order to activate the whole structure of using the interface and whatnot, you have to have hardware to support it as well. Simply saying, kids don't bring smartphones to school, right? So the activation is actually the student ID, which is an RFID card that is actually issued to these students, printed with their picture, printed with their student ID, given specific to each individuals. So this RFID card that we are giving to the kids, right? Whenever they transact in, let's say, canteens, the canteens will be given this point of sale terminal. So whenever they transact, then the money will be spent. And so where is this money, right? This money is actually stored in the Boost e-wallet of the parents in the mobile phones. It's actually the parents' e-wallet. Or maybe some parents go and open e-wallet Boost for their own kids. That's fair enough as well. But the thing is, the card is connected to the Boost wallet. So whenever they transact, they just tap this card on the POS terminal. Then the Boost wallet, the funds will be deducted, and the canteen will receive these funds from Boost. So basically, I3S, we don't actually carry the deposits on our own, right? Okay, but we don't just act as a point where we make the whole school system cashless. The whole point of I3S is actually to simplify attendance system in schools. So what you see here is actually the attendance scanner that we will be installing these hardware into schools, connecting all of these scanners to the local server that again we will install into the schools. So everything here, we have to implement hardware into schools in order for the schools to be able to provide and run this program. And what we know is that for each school, in order to activate them, we will need to spend 40,000 in terms of capex to get the school started, right? To get the school started. So once all of these things is done, the parents can simply use their mobile account, I3S app, to check the balance from the Boost wallet. They can check what their kids have done, what they purchased, if there's any updates from the teachers to be informed, and at the same time, the schools can actually access the web background to do all the administrative functions. So like what we've communicated, we actually implement this into 5 schools already. Basically, these 5 schools acts like our sandbox. We push in new functions, new features. We get it running. The students there are already using the system. And why we have these 5 schools as a sandbox is because they are more they know this system quite fairly well already. So, and then in terms of communication of the errors, they're doing a very good job to tell us what they need better. So we are actually using these 5 schools as the sandbox. So you can see these schools, they're all in the city center, Sri Petaling, Sultan Abdul Samad, Sri Aman, Bangsa. I believe some of us are even from these schools before. So now that we understand the substance of how I3S function, right? So the thing is, we don't intend to charge the schools anything, because a lot of times, right, when people want to introduce something to the school, they require the school to be able to afford it. But when we put this kind of barrier between our program and the school, right, we would think that the take-up rate will be fairly low, and something like this, right, will only be enjoyed by the richer schools. We want to make it available to every school in Malaysia if possible. So that's why our model, when we install all of this hardware into the schools, we want to make it free for them. But in order to make it free for them, we cannot be a company that have no revenue. So our revenue model is fairly simple. It's just a merchant discount rate in which we charge a 5% to transaction with canteens, core bookstores, or maybe sometimes we can place OEM vending machines in these schools, right, that sell relevant items for these kids. So the thing is that, yes, the wallet is actually the Boost e-wallet, but the parents can control how much the kid can spend a day. So they have no concerns about the card actually being lost or the kid actually overspending. So whenever they transact, let's say in the canteen, this transaction will be recognized by our platform, pushed to our system, and then funds will be deducted from the Boost wallet. So The reason why we are here on ECF today is we want to raise 4 million in funding to be able to execute our plans to be available in 100 schools by the next year. So we call this our initial portfolio. So how it works is that Boost, right, instead of just being our e-wallet partner, they are also our CAPEX partner. So this shows that Boost really believe in this model here, and they want to come in together with us to help grow this program into all of the schools. So the function of what Boost have with us is basically Boost will take 60% of the CAPEX, in which I3S, Emerging Enterprise, have to pay for the other 40% of the CAPEX. So 1.6 million is one of the reasons of why we are here on ECF, to be able to raise 1.6 million to pay for this CAPEX for the next 100 schools. On another hand, in order to run as a company, we would have some operational expense as well. So we're trying to provide ourselves at least a 15 months runway, which is a budget of 1.35 million. Of course, this one, it has to be funded by our own company. And on top of that, this is something that a lot of companies, they often left out in terms of fundraising, which is advertising expense. Most of the time, companies, they underestimate this amount, and it's very often companies fail. It's not because of their product and not because of their service, but it's because nobody knows about them yet. And what we learned in our experience in the past 4 years is that a program like this, right, it's not a matter of just putting it up in the school and then just cleaning your hands and you're done with it. It actually takes a lot of activity, promotion, and campaigns, right, to keep users, to let users know that you're still there, to keep users enticed about using your services before they even get sticky with you. So advertising expense is actually a very crucial function to almost all companies that exist. So that's the breakdown of the reason of why we're raising 4 million today. So moving forward, right, after we achieve this, basically how does it look for us based on our revenue model, based on the size, the number of schools that we're targeting, and based on the canvas approval for MOE that we're given today? How does it look for our company? So the thing is, in 2020 to 2021, our intention is to activate this initial portfolio. So how long does it take for us to implement into schools? Really, really quick. Within 2 months, we can actually finish implementation into all 100 schools because our contractors are ready, our hardware is ready. It's a simple matter of getting the funds, making people start to implement their work. These 100 schools has already signed their agreement with us. We can enter anytime, right? And the best is now because the kids are not there, it's easier to do the work. So based on our revenue model of MDR for 5%, assuming that 200 schools gets us a gross transaction value of 114 million per annum, right? This will actually net us about 5.7 million in terms of revenue. So the math goes directly to when we have 1,000 schools sign up by 2021, it actually gives us a gross transaction value of 1.1 billion ringgit. But don't get too excited, that's not our money. Our revenue is purely just 5% of that, which is 57 million. So the thing about us is that we know a lot of startups, the challenge that they face is actually acquiring the users. But the benefit that I3S actually have in achieving these projections is number one, we are backed by Boost. Our collaboration and CAPEX partner is with Boost. So one of the reasons why Boost wants to come onto this campaign is because these kids have to go to school. Public schools is a necessity in Malaysia, right? Besides going to private schools. So this is actually a very good angle for Boost to capture users right from where they start schooling. That's one. And the next thing is, of course, that Boost is a company where they have the marketing expenditure to push. So rather than pushing these expenses into the public where there's a lot of competition, why can't they push it through us, right? So, and this business model, actually, we're not just confined to working with schools, because yes, we start off with solving a problem, making attendance a lot easier. And from there, we move on to offering cashless systems, RFID card to make payments. Yes, already solves a lot of problems in terms of bullying, social issues in the schools and whatnot. But we are not only confined to every schools that we are in with, because these kids on a yearly basis, maybe they buy uniforms, they have to get new shoes, maybe sometimes they get some new toys, they have to buy stationery, they got to buy textbooks. So we can actually work with vendors, let's say 5 kilometer radius out of this school, and whenever they pay through our system I3S, they get a little bit of incentive, a little bit of discounts. But at the same time, we can also help these vendors to get customers. We can bring parents and teachers and students to their shops as well. Yeah, and what we understand is that for every 10 cent in average spending per user, it actually improves our bottom line by 1.4%. So our package that we are putting up on this ECF at the moment is an RCPS package. So to give you a sense of why we are offering you preference shares instead of ordinary equities, right, it's because number one, preference shares always have the rights of liquidation for the company, so it benefits our investors monetarily. But number two is mainly because at this moment, we want to make it more liquid for you guys to be able to exit. Let's say, who knows, in 2 years' time, right? We have, because this kind of program that we are running, we are going to be transacting billions of ringgit on an annual basis. So who knows, one day a VC will come in 1-2 years' time, and they will come in with and they require a bigger stake. That's where our investors today can directly benefit monetarily, because VCs will have to buy, will need to offer to buy some of you out, or if some of you guys want to stay with us, it's fine as well. You get to convert into equities, and then you can continue riding with us to higher valuations. And not only that, we are not offering you RCPS, just a flat up one. So let's say today you invest 100 RCPS with us, right? But in every year, we will give you 4% additional issue on the number of shares that you have. So by 5 years, when these shares mature, the term of it mature, we actually can choose to buy you out, or you can choose to convert with us. So buying you out, basically you can enjoy the additional RCPS that you have gained. But in the meantime, if you choose to convert, you're also able to enjoy larger shareholding in our company. And by the time, definitely we will have 2,000 schools in our pockets, and that would be an entirely different company. Yeah, thanks, William.
Thank you very much, Ken. I think this sharing is quite thorough. Yeah, so basically, I think we have a basic idea about how this program works. But also, just now we mentioned about this program is approved by the Ministry of Education. I think this is quite because of the project. So the government actually trusts you, awarded this license to you. And we also have a viewer to ask: is this license exclusively to you, or would other players be able to come in?
Let me answer that question. Over my years of dealing with government, there's not one exclusivity that was issued to any company unless it's a contract that is paid by the government. So what I'm saying is, at the moment, we have not seen any company that has the same approval scope as us. And even so, if they are purely a payment service provider, focusing on just card payment, which is honestly not really sexy for the school. So the school wants something else, like, student management, what we are doing, right? So it's safe to say that even so that we are not, there's no exclusivity in terms of doing this program, and by that means that any other company can go in as well. We have the head start like by years. So somebody can come in, try to go to school. You have to go through a lot of layers, right? A lot of layers, and then it would take a long time. And by that time, we'll probably acquire all the cream of the crop schools, and let them do the rest of the schools. It's fine with us. Our approval is for 2,000 schools. Malaysia have about 10,000 and maybe 10,200 schools. So we really wanted to choose our schools so that we can show some good track record, also to report back to the ministry that, okay, we can implement such system and such program, and this is the way to implement it successfully, and it can be sustained and expandable, right?
Yeah.
They might be interested to see how we do it successfully, and then maybe the ministry themselves would want to look into implementing it to entire Malaysia schools at that point of time. Just now Ken's mentioned that why we feel that if you invest in our program, if you stay with us, by 2022 we have a plan to list the company. By that time we will probably have about 1,000 school registration, and going to another 1,000. That's why we wanted to list to get some money out from the market. By 2,000 schools, technically we are going to be transacting 1.6 billion ringgit a year kind of transaction, just from the school itself. So it's a good value. If you can go in now, we will be very grateful. Don't worry about the exclusivity. We are far ahead. We already have registration a lot, right? But more than 100 schools. And we have agents all around the country that help us secure these schools now.
Yeah, I think it's fair enough. I think if a government would to give you this exclusivity, I think there's no drive to make your this program better. I think with a little bit of competition maybe later on, and also I think the government also want to observe how far you can go and how's your performance. Is this one of the reason why they only give you 2,000 schools to jumpstart? Because I think in whole nationwide there's more than 10,000 schools easily, right?
Yes. The reason why they don't want to give 10,000 schools is because at that time nobody was doing it, so they don't really trust us to give everything, right?
Yeah.
So there is maybe they just want to see, wait and see, and they want to learn how things can be implemented, right? I've been in a company that we were given a billion ringgit contract to put in a lot of equipment for learning tools. Maybe it was too early in its time, but now when I go back to the schools, all those equipment are either faulty or obsolete, and we spent a lot of money there. So that's why we created this program in such a business model, so that it can be self-sustaining, expandable. We don't really require much funding from the government. As long as we can address the needs of the market, the consumer behavior, we understand it. Just putting a system in school doesn't mean that it's going to be successful. You need a team, you need the experience, and also you need to understand who you are servicing.
Yeah. Okay. We have another question from our audience, Nash Harsh. He's asking what happened if the card missing, and what security do you have to prevent other students using the card? So I think this is quite a good question. Ken, would you like to answer this question?
Okay, let me answer. Maybe because I designed the system, so this is quite popular question amongst the PIBG. Okay, what if my kid's card goes missing or left at home and all this? We have spare cards in the schools, right? We put in around 30 spare cards in the school. So if they go missing, what they need to do is they need to take that card. The teacher or the parents, right, can replace the card via the app, and then it will automatically block the missing cards, and then change the current spare card to the active card. So what it does is it connects back to your wallet, right? Therefore, you can use almost instantaneously to purchase food and drinks in the canteen. So by that is as a comparison, maybe we are more familiar with maybe touch and go card, right? So if you lose it, then we have to report it, and then we got to go to a center to pick up a new card and transfer the balance. So ours is a bit different. The cards doesn't contain any value. It's not stock value card. So the money is actually in the bank. So we just need to change cards, and our mobile app, does self-servicing feature so that you don't have to call anybody. And the teachers can help the kids if in case the parents is not at school. So what will happen is in terms of security, we're not worried that the money is lost with the card. And we have a daily limit. So in case, worst case scenario, if you limit your child's card to spend 5 ringgit and you have 100 ringgit in it, and you do not report the loss, maybe you lose 5 ringgit, maybe.
Yeah.
And then these cards are not able to use outside, so they can only be used in school. So there's another security procedure that we put in so that nobody will be able to abuse the card if it's lost, and we can trace who is the user of the unauthorized user of the card very quickly.
Okay, I think the card design is quite safe, so because there's no money value inside. Also relate to this question, so that means you also do not need to have a security pin, or does it come with a security pin when you do the purchase?
Okay, we mull over it. To have a security pin, we're talking about 7-year-olds, maybe they can remember. So what we do is we authenticate the user of the cards in our system. So we manage it. We use security tokens to make sure that the user are all actual users. It's not a clone card or something like that. So the point of us going against having a pin is speed to transact. We are not in a retail in a mall, right? We have a lot of time to pay, and everybody is relaxed about it. In school, the recess time is only 20 minutes. If you cannot push a lot of high throughput, in 20 minutes the canteen will lose sales. So if you ask me to put in a pin to use in school for payment, it will push per transaction to more than 10 seconds, which is more than a credit card approval time, right? So this doesn't work. The canteen will lose sales. So we created another way to make sure that the cards are secured and the transaction is genuine.
Okay, good. Ken, during your presentation also, I see you have a highlight. So this Boost not only is a payment gateway, I think they also invest into this CapEx. What really attract this merchant and Boost as one of the leading e-payment gateway in Malaysia to work with you as a startup, this pilot project? I think the risk is quite high, but looking at the money that they involve with you, what are the reasons they want to participate in your program? And how do you attract such a heavyweight partner to partner with you in this project?
I think to be correct, it's not me that attracted them. It's actually that attracted them with his I3S program.
I see.
Then you want me to answer that?
Okay. I don't know. I think maybe it's the right moment of time, right? Boost was going into education segment that we know about, universities and all. Maybe this is a bit different because it's really, if you look at it, it's closed loop transaction, meaning that we can actually control the behavior of the children in school in how they transact, and they have no chance of transacting outside of school, which what the PIBG want. They want to contain all purchases in school because they want to make sure that the quality of food and what the child eats is managed, right? Maybe in a way, this is also a green field for Boost, right? 7 to 17-year-olds, they are unbanked, and then they have no bank accounts and they have no phones. Maybe after they finish 4 or 5, they can be converted to Boost users. Maybe that's what they are looking at. I mean, in terms of valuation, I think Boost will be more interested to see what else they can do with the subscriber rather than just transaction based, right?
And also, I would like to add to that, right? I think a lot of us have experienced before that Milo lorries always come to school quite often, and magically they always give you free Milo. It's always free. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to capture the brand when you're really young. Yeah, they're trying to make you remember it when you're really, really young. So this is actually one of a marketing strategy for Boost as well. Like, I'm in it now with all these kids and the parents. The moment their kids step into primary one, So I believe this is also one of the angles of why they are partnering with us.
Yeah.
So the
It's
branding into these kids are very, very important. Just now also you mentioned about this program, not only during this school time, the kids can use your system. I think it goes beyond, after they graduated, they finish school, how would this, they can still continue using your services? How does it work?
Well, it's a conversion from using the I3S card to having your own phone and a Boost account or Boost app, right? So if they have a Boost account from 7 years old, this is a cradle to grave strategy. It's also a brand recall strategy to drive sales or to drive usage. Like what Ken said just now, the Milo strategy, that is the best. The Milo conquered maybe 90% of Malaysian market. So I think we would want to do that as well. But I3S will always be remaining in school, right? We cannot go to a college and implement I3S as is. It's not the same. What we can do is we can guide those our children, our next generation towards this experience of being digital and doing digital everything digital, so that the Malaysian market can thrive. We still need all those brick and mortar shops, but maybe sales are not just driven by visits. They can be marketed digitally, like in social media. But we need to teach our next generation to be a bit more disciplined, right? In the social media, we can see a lot of misbehave persons in our social media nowadays. So those are
true. So I think when the kids start using this Boost, I think this branding is already planted on them. I think even for us also something when we start to use the Boost a lot, somehow I will put it on my this app on the front page, even on the right corner, that where I can press very easily, because you have to open it and scan quite often. If during the school time, like 5-6 years, even beyond, I think this will be definitely the number one payment system. We also have this audience, Chat Leong, asking how many schools is using your system now and currently, and how many schools under your this order book in further
in the future.
Okay, future.
Well, we like that was mentioned by Ken just now. We did in 5 schools. We completed the operations one cycle. We start and stop to actually rectify some maybe some issues at that time. We learned a lot. We changed some of the process flow because we assumed that it was okay at that time. Then when we put it to life, we find that it's less than successful. So we changed that. So the system is very centric towards the parents' involvement for their kids, rather than the school need to do anything about the system. So the school are all users, right? What we have now is around 120 plus. I can't remember what's the final tally, but 120 plus, and people are still calling our line. From all these promotions that we do in school to be registered. But registration takes a while because we need to talk to a lot of stakeholders, namely the school headmasters and principal, the PIBG presidents, the canteen operators, and the koperasi, and also the parents lah. In the end, what we offer, if it's supporting what the school wants to do, then we can sign them up. So 120 plus and counting. We have appointed about 7 agents throughout Malaysia.
Wow.
And we are looking at about 1,000 registration in 2021 to match our next round of funding.
That's good to know. And Ken, just now you briefly also explained to us about the investment package. We also have an audience want to know what would be the minimum investment. Also, maybe you can elaborate a little bit on the investment package, right? So they are eager to come and join with your this program. How can they invest, and how much is the package?
Right. So we really want to be able to reach everyone out there that knows about our current fundraising. So we have structured our minimum investment to be just 500 ringgit.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah. So why we want to do this is because I'm coming from the angle that, if you came from a public school, right, why don't just do a bit and, give the public school a chance to become better today. So I feel that 500 ringgit is a really fair entry point for investors to come aboard with us. Yeah. And I guess this burning answer that I want to say about the question earlier, saying that what happens next for I3S when the kids graduate from SPM, for example. So I3S would most likely know the records of these kids' academic and also sports performance from their year of 7 all the way to 17 years old.
Yeah.
So we can do a lot of things in the sense of suggesting which college you can go to in terms of the matching of the scholarship requirements. We can also tell the kids what is probably good for you to go to, because maybe you're good in math, you're good in English, or maybe you've participated in certain competitions before and you're actually eligible for certain scholarships and sponsors, maybe for Leo Club or what, which very often, especially like myself, my parents are quite ignorant about my schooling life. So I really don't know what's available for me out there. But if the app can tell me or my parents, based on my academic performance and what I've been doing in school, it will be a very great feature to have actually. Yeah.
Okay. So regarding the investment amount, 500, because you are raising almost 4 million, I think that's a big amount. With $500, compared with those people who invest 10,000 or 20,000, would the benefit, the return will be the same or different? Because you mentioned about this is a preference share, and what they get in return is the dividend, right? Can you explain a little bit more? Would they be the same regardless of the amount?
It's going to be the same. Basically, 2 ringgit of your investment, you get 1 preference shares. Yeah. So every preference shares will be treated the same. All of them will experience 4% increase in new issue every year, every 12 months. Whether you're investing 500 ringgit or 500 million, you're going to be the same as long as you're investing this round now with us. Yeah.
Okay. Dato', can I ask you about this question? Because I think the solution is quite unique. How do you get this solution? Is this a solution built by in-house, or you actually get the expertise from overseas, from other business partner? Because it involves not only the software and also the hardware and also the solution. Is this an in-house developed?
This is a system that we developed it locally. Means that all the developers are all Malaysians. We did not source it to any other developer or use. We use a basic coding platform like what you have out there. We did not do any development in terms of hardware, so we did directly with the manufacturer and customize it over there, and then we import it ourselves. So safe to say that the cost of bringing in it will be very, very, very economical for us to import it ourselves, because myself I've done a lot of importing and exporting job, so we know how to do it. In terms of development, I was the person who actually created the initial requirements. Of course, with my technical director Amin, we merge a few things and trying to make it a bit more interesting and a bit more sexy to use, user friendly, and it become to whatever that we is now. I mean, 4 years of understanding how things are done in school actually influenced a bit of how we design the system. And I had a lot of experience developing e-payment. Last time I had a job doing payment for toll for the highways. So I learned a lot of that. What was their problem? And I3S is created based on understanding those challenges, whether they're technically or marketing. So this is what we have today.
Yeah, that's good. So in case the system need any update, any progress, so your in-house team are able to address to that, correct?
That's right.
Yeah. Ken just now also mentioned this project, because it's huge in terms of the market size and also the market that you target, right? Because even though it's like 2,000 school, but when you calculate by number of students, number of faculty members, and this administrative personnel, it's quite huge. And how is your team support? Who will be your core team beside Dato and you? Are there any key personnel into your this team?
Right. So definitely in terms of team members, the core team will be Norami, Dato, Nasmi, myself. But then the reason why we are raising this money, 1.35 million is going into operational expense.
Yeah.
We will need to hire people to be able to respond quick enough to all of these users. Yeah, we will definitely need to hire. But hiring is basically just how you manage your staff. So where I came from, I started my own company 5 years ago, and I focus a lot on operations and implementations, especially in terms of B2B2C, managing businesses, which in this case is schools, all the way to consumers, users, in this case students and parents. Yeah, so I'm quite confident that my experience in these 5 years, right, especially coupled with my experience with my football business, I will be able to lead this team to be able to respond to the troubles that we have. And additionally, we have our in-house CTO, Norami. So anything when it comes to system problems, technical problems, right? The most important thing is we need to be able to understand it to be able to solve it. Yeah. So I can actually work very closely with Norami to quickly get software.
But Dato, when this fully implement to this 2,000 school, I think the manpower required, not only the core team, I think even the headcount will be quite a lot. Based on the 4 million that you raised, how many percent or how much will go into this human resources to develop
About
the team?
About 28 to 30% will actually go to human resource, operational expense.
So majority will be on the IT personnel.
No, not on the IT personnel. A lot will be going into people that can help to reach out to schools, work with schools, find them, and also solve their problems.
A lot of support and more of like marketing. Because we do have this agency program that we have started 6 months ago to reach out to other states and then get them on board. I mean, the schools get them on board.
How challenging to get them on board? Is it pretty easy, or
it takes a while? Yeah, it takes a while
because you have the approval from the ministry. Is it they must join you, or they have an option?
Okay. We're not saying that they have to. We're not forcing anybody to join, right? I believe that if you force somebody to join, and then the smallest mistake they will kill you. So we ask them to see what's the value that we can bring to them, and how we solve their, or maybe help out their school in terms of affording maintenance and any upgrades that the school need, that the PIBG needs to raise funds. So we help them to raise funds digitally, right? I want to touch a bit about manpower. We are not trying to hire so many people. Therefore, that's why we designed the system to be all self-service. So you don't have to call anybody if there's a problem, right? Everything is all on the phone, all in the app. And then there's so little, point of failure. Also, I want to highlight, our system, we have designed it in a way that if there is no power, there is no internet, we are still able to function, right? Which I can say, this is something that I can say more than any other people or any other service provider can provide. So this means that if there is these two key points, right? If it doesn't work, your child will still be able to buy food in the canteen, right? This is something that is very critical, and we've understood it when we talk to PIBGs a lot. That's why the equipment that we have to buy and put it in school is a necessity. It costs a bit more, but it's worth it, right? To protect our services so that it's not going to be down at any time. So self-service and all this will reduce the requirement for a lot of hiring.
So the system sounds like very advanced system. Besides Malaysia, are you thinking to maybe market into other country or different school system or university? Is it possible?
We prefer to stay within the 7 to 17 market range, right? Going to universities is another game altogether. It's like because of a lot of competitors like banks and all, they're already in there. To say that we are, of course, we are interested to move to other countries at one point of time. But at current time, I want to maybe share a bit. We actually started a partnership with someone in Brunei, right? To actually recreate the I3S over there. So we are principal. We created a company that can do all these, the approvals and all from the other side. Unfortunately, the pandemic happened. So now we have created everything like the marketing, the product. I think they started to talk to the ministry as well, but it's now postponed to the next year. So we probably looking at I3S in Brunei probably sometime soon. And we have all the appetite to go to Asia Pacific countries to sell this as a service.
Okay, Ken, we have a friend to ask here to ask a question. How can they invest? How to invest into this program?
Very good question actually. Because we need people to know where to put their money down. So basically, if you don't already know, we are actually working with MyStarter. MyStarter is actually hosting us for this equity crowdfunding. So they will be the trustee of our current campaign. So when you invest, you don't actually pay to us directly. The money actually goes into this trustee account first. So the process flow is you can go to mystarters.com.my. In their website, you can actually see our campaign live. Currently, our campaign live. So the moment you go into our campaign page that is shown here, project/I3S, you will see all of the details, way more detail than what we have shown you here tonight. And then right beside the whole campaign info, you can see the packages online. And you will see the smallest amount is actually 500 ringgit. Yeah, all the way down to a few 100,000. Now, so what you need to do is just create an account with MyStarter, click on the package, and then you can make the transaction online, right? You can make the transaction online through MyStarter's platform. But what's interesting here is that since we are partnered with Boost, if you make your investment with Boost e-wallet payment, which is available on MyStarter, you can get access to let's say you invest 500 ringgit, right, into our campaign, you will get 5 times Boost coin rewards, and also you have a chance to win 500 ringgit. So every 500 ringgit of your investment is one entry to win to win 500 ringgit. Yeah, so we're giving away up to 20 winners.
I see. So besides using the credit card, the wire transfer, and also even the Boost can be used for this investment. But how do they find out to get the 5 times the bonus point? How does it work?
Yes. So because the nature of MyStarter, the nature of ECF to begin with, right? The moment the campaign ends, investors are given the rights for a cooling period, in which in this time you can still choose to say no. So Boost cannot immediately reward you with these coins and also with the cashback, right? So what our deal that we have signed with Boost is that the moment our campaign ends and the moment we have assured that you said yes to this investment, you sign the agreement, then only Boost will create a notification in your Boost app to tell you now that you have been credited with 5 times Boost coin on this payment to MyStarter. Yeah, even the winners will only be announced after our campaign has been secured. Yeah.
Okay, so it means the Boost will do it manually upon the successful making the payment, invest into this.
We will inform Boost when we have confirmed the investor list.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Dato', may I ask this project after end, because looks like it's quite a huge project with the investment. After this funding round, is there any plan for the second round to reach out to more school? Any further plan for your second round?
Well, ECF gives us the speed and flexibility to fund a small deployment. Yeah. So this means that if I have 10 schools, I can I can go to ECF, and in 2 weeks maybe we can start doing it. Of course, we have the opportunity and the option to go to financial institutions like banks. Once we have run 100 schools, we have some data we can show, and they might be interested. Of course, in the end, if you want to do about 1,000 schools, then we need a lot. Like we need, I don't know, 40 million maybe to run, to operate. That's why we are gearing up for listing maybe in the ACE market, to be able to afford this expansion into eventually 2,000 schools. So yes, there will be some other funding rounds, and also yes, we are taking I3S abroad. But now the most important thing is to do this 100 school with the right partner, with the right program, not just putting in equipment and let it run. We got to make it fun, right? This is cool. It should be fun. So yeah, we're doing that for the moment with the 100 schools that we have chosen.
Okay, Ken, this investment is already going on. This crowdfunding. So when will it last? How many more days to go before this project end?
Yes, our campaign is going to end on the 20th of December. Yeah. So it's just about 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for you to share with us about this program to our audience. And Dato', before we end the session, any other thing that you want to highlight and to share with our friend here?
Okay. This program, is really a communication tool, right? It's a platform. It's like a plug and play platform. You can do a lot of things here. It's not just about payment or attendance. It's also about educating our children and putting in all the programs via this platform, to make maybe to sway our generation to whatever that Malaysia wants to have. By that means that we could have actually put in a lot of other educational program via this platform. So what I'm saying is, for the Malaysians out there, we would like to invite you to participate in our digital school program. If you have ideas that you want to put on board with our platform, we can try it with 100 schools first and then see how it goes. And then maybe we can, help the government, bring the education to the level of people like Poland and countries like Poland and the developed countries.
Okay, I can tell Dato' Nasmi really has a vision. Want to make this project a successful project, and not only I think it will help
What happened?
It will also help this parent to know more about the children's activity and also more engagement with the teachers in order to give them a better environment to learn and to grow, right? So that they can do better in school. So I think this program is really a very beneficial program for the community. Right? So our friends out there, if you are interested to believe in this project, I3S, and also believe in the leadership, and please come and support this system to make it a successful project. And also because this is first round of funding, so I think the valuation also relatively low, and the return also can be quite great. Can I ask one thing? Because looking at the potential, actually, 3 years, 5 years down the road, actually the potential is quite huge, because you are offering this preference share. What if during this maturity 5 years later, is it possible for them to convert into a more permanent investor? If the investor choose to do so, would that be possible?
Yes, definitely it's possible. The one reason about why we're going with this structure is because nobody knows what's going to happen 5 years down the road, right? So in a way, preference shares
both risk and opportunity together, right?
Correct. So preference shares actually helps to protect our earlier investors in a way, but at the same time, how the thing is that this is $1 billion potential company, like what you just mentioned. It's a huge potential here, and if there's any chance at all, right, for us to get huge valuations in the future, that's where we may need to work with larger VCs or funders, investment bankers, and that's where they will scrutinize a lot about our shareholding structure. So probably a good way would be today you're invested, definitely going to be through an LLP structure with more than 50 investors. Then when you're convert into equities, then you can write on this valuation with us and let this VC bring us to greater heights.
Yeah. Okay, so if you have a bigger faith in this project, you can invest more. So if you just want to support, also I think you can invest as little as 500, as just now mentioned. So it's entirely up to you, but I think this is a good project for the community, for school, and even for the children. There are many things can come. So if you're interested, you can just click on this mystarter.com project I3S. So you can invest anytime. So the investment also relatively convenient. You can make the payment via online. So basically, you don't have to go to the bank to make the payment. You can use a credit card. You can use a Boost. Just I mentioned a special. I think this one also specially open for this project. In the past, we never used an e-wallet as an investment tool. So this, I think, this is a request by Dr. Nasmi and also request from this Boost. I think it can make a tremendous difference. You see this e-wallet as an investment vehicles payment system, because in the past we always think that e-wallet is something that you make the payment for small amount. Okay. Yeah. So now it looks like you can have a breakthrough to make use an e-wallet to make 500, even more than that. I mean, if your this limit allowed, so you can accept this e-wallet payment. Okay. So thank you everyone for coming to hear Dr. Nasmi and also Ken sharing about this I3S project. And if you have any further question you want to ask, please leave your message here. Our staff can always reply to you. Also, we can address back the question to Ken and also to Dr. Nasmi. So also you can leave any comment into the project page as well. So when you click on mystarter.com, so actually you can have interaction, and also you can have a Q&A over there as well. Okay, so this investment will last until the next 17 days. Be quick. Right? So all the information also you can read from the page. Right? To find out more, actually welcome. Okay, gentlemen, any other thing that you want to highlight before we close up this session?
Nothing. I think we would like to thank Bruce for believing in us, and we hope to do well.
Yeah, definitely. Right. So I think we can see the passion into this team, especially even though now it's during this COVID, and also during this CMCO. There's many things they can do. So even the school is closed, and so we can also see the activities going on. Okay. So thank you very much for tuning in with us, and we'll see you next time. I think we have another session coming up on the 10th of December. Right? So for those people that who are not able to join us tonight, so you can share the message around and share the video, and also you can invite them coming back to us on the 10th of December, which will be next Thursday, correct, Ken?
Yep, correct.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much, and good night. We'll see you then. Thank you.